Well, since you mentioned the pandemic, I think the main kick in employee benefits was the IT advancement that we've had. So we didn't previously used to have work from home options in the company. Because of the pandemic, we had to really accelerate that, and we made that possible. And even though we're back to the office now full time, we still have the opportunity for employees to work from home if they need to. So we don't have like a formal hybrid policy within the organization. But for some employees, if they're requested and top management allows it, we do have the capabilities to do that.
Well, if we go back a couple of generations, particularly with a UK focus, benefits was about having a retirement or a pension scheme. But then, if we go back maybe a generation, that we saw that benefits was very often around kind of three key areas or three key pillars, which was retirement, pension, which was healthcare, some sort of private medical or supplementary benefit around healthcare, and some sort of protection, so life assurance, income protection or disability. What we now see with clients that those three areas are still key and are fundamental parts, but actually need to be wrapped into a much broader benefits policy and a much broader wellness and well-being policy. And where possible, we see clients want to be able to offer a core level of benefits, maybe across those key areas, but then giving employees much broader choice and flexibility around how they actually shape a benefit policy to suit themselves. So that may well be that there's again, UK focused, that we've got some obligations to comply with legislation around pension. We've got a creaking National Health Service, so employers don't have a mandatory obligation to provide healthcare, whereas that is the case in other territories such as the States. But there is definitely a requirement to provide some form of supplemental support as well, particularly for a population that is ageing in their workforce. Younger guys might think they're unbreakable. So the question then for HR teams is whether they encourage active membership of broader healthcare, or whether actually they just give an individual the full choice and control around which benefits they take out. What we're also seeing, when we're talking about broader benefits as well, is maybe flexibility over annual leave, flexibility over working arrangements, whether that's working from home or hybrid working arrangements, or whether that's global mobility programs and allowing someone to take the laptop to a beach in New Zealand and work from there, all come with challenges. But we definitely see clients that are now looking for solutions in those types of areas. We also have a big focus at the moment on different areas of well-being, which we link together through financial well-being, which will typically be workplace savings or retirement, physical well-being, so whether you actually can give employees support around their own physical well-being, and also emotional well-being as well. So we're seeing lots of solutions come to market in those areas. And I think the challenge is sometimes that HR teams have almost got a paralysis, because there are so many solutions on the marketplace and lots of them overlap. There are so many new entrants into the market. And so our job as an advisor is almost to filter those, to understand which ones are going to add real value, which ones are still going to be around in a year's time or 2 years' time or 3 years' time. Lots of them are being driven by tech startup type style businesses. So being able to sit down with the client, I think, and understand, build a roadmap with them to understand what their objectives are around their benefit policy. Still probably with those three key areas somewhere at the heart of it that I started the conversation with, around retirement, healthcare, and protection. But actually broadening it out to a policy that a client can actually, hand on heart, say, I've got something in place that gives choice and control, but also has measurable, not only return on investment, but value on investment in terms of my individual employees' wellness. A, because that's the right thing to do as an employer in this day and age, but B, it's what we need to do when it comes to the war for talent, recruiting people, encouraging them to work for our clients rather than someone else's clients.